Hello, my name is Scott Colthorp, Director of Trek Nation. You're watching The Director's Log, a series of videos related to Trek Nation. If there's one image any viewer should glean from watching Star Trek, is the portrayal of humanity cooperating as one big family with one common home, planet Earth. My current documentary, Blackout, explores humankind's struggle to maintain the comforts of modern life without ruining the very planet that sustains it. Most of our electricity and our modern comforts come from the burning of fossil fuels, coal and natural gas, whose emissions are posing a grave threat to our collective future. Perhaps a lesson from Star Trek about mutual cooperation can help humankind confront what many are calling our last energy crisis.
Sounds all right if it'll work.
I hope you enjoy the trailer for my upcoming documentary, Blackout.
We had a period of time, it's referred to as the Carboniferous era, where there were very, very high levels of carbon in the atmosphere. Very large, complex plant forms had evolved. The trees were just beginning to evolve. 300 million years later, we find it in this very condensed form, and we call it coal.
This country and a number of other countries have been built on the back of fossil fuels, and coal in particular.
America, we're the Saudi Arabia of coal.
It's easy to forget how revolutionary that was. The power of electricity to change lives.
Coal really created modern life.
How bad a disaster they are facing after coal ash spills covered neighborhoods and choked local rivers.
It just hits you in the face.
I've never been so affected by anything in my life.
The long-term legacy of that toxic waste in the river and the sediments will be haunting us for decades.
We don't go outside anymore.
This is a toxic material that the Earth had the good sense to lock up.
The EPA has never come out and called this a hazardous substance. Why?
The planet is on a collision course of disaster.
Arsenic, cadmium, mercury.
Over 10,000 people are dying a year.
If you look at the planet from outer space at night, those lights are an infection.
Those guys have paid off the entire town.
They spent $80 million lobbying against global warming.
We're altering the atmosphere back to a form before human life began to evolve.
And yet, the coal companies will tell you, it's just the work of God.
The average person uses 20 pounds of coal a day.
Some people point the finger at utilities. They're burning coal in response to us using energy.
And you have to have the TV on while you're cooking dinner because you might miss something.
The reality is we can't afford to let the lights go on.
By 2035, 80% of America's electricity will come from clean energy sources.
We can move to a low-carbon future.
Solar and small wind farms, carbon capture and storage,
energy efficiency,
geothermal, biomass,
nuclear power, some natural gas.
Who wants to live next to that?
Not in my backyard.
That new technologies are not going to save the world.
You will change the world!
We still have all these coal plants in operation, and we still need them.
We are going to get off of fossil fuels.
If you want to turn coal off, think for a minute what that would mean. You would play havoc with every system that I'm aware of.
People survived until the late 19th century without electricity, but I don't think any of us actually want to go back.
We're going to run out of coal. We're going to run out of fossil fuels.
Without them, there would be no power.
And at a certain point, you have to say, isn't there a better way to generate electricity?
Follow Trek Nation on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, or Google+, to be the first to know when a new episode is released. And please share these videos with the rest of the Trek Nation.